Hello ladies and gents, it's Hagbard Celine here, back after an extended time away, which I apologize for, but life gets strange sometimes. And today, we're going to be discussing kind of an odd topic, something I don't usually directly focus on, but have always come at a different angle. I'm going to talk about identity and identitarianism. Identity is a nebulous and ever-shifting topic that's applied with varying degrees of seriousness and magnitude, depending on what facet and the application. However, one thing true of identity, and how it's behaved in the social fabric of humanity, at its core, it's linked with the ever-fragile human ego, and thus always something serious. It's linked to violence, and it's forever been a source of volatility in man. With examples ranging from the deeply and widely shared nationalism, gang affiliation, religion, to the sectarian and even encompassing sports, intra and intro-sport, i.e. within teams and athletic chauvinism. Some people think, football is better than hockey, is better than basketball because reasons, that sort of thing. If you think it's foolish to include sports team affiliation with identity, I should invite you to otherwise explain the tribalism and volatility of that particular community in some way other than that one has personally invested at least a portion of one's identity into it. Football hooligans and their progressive radicalization, specifically in Eastern Europe and Russia, has led to a semi-nationalist paramilitary identity ostensibly revolving around fighting outside of a sporting event. In early America, there was nothing surprising about ostracizing or even doing violence to those whose identities were other than one's own, ignoring the tired identifiers trotted out every Black History Month of Germans and the Irish and all that. Let's look at just the denominations of the settlers and the violence that occurred between those denominations, even just some of these being post-schism Protestantism. In Anglo-Saxon times, you were identified by a list of signifiers, your father, your clan. These identities were sacred, sacrosanct, worth killing or dying for, worth endless strife to protect. In ancient Greece, heroes saved their fathers before their wives and kids to protect their identities, to protect that which they considered sacred. So why, in this oh-so-black and white, divided America, am I prattling on about these archaic and distant ideas surrounding specific subcategories of identity? Because today, I think what we're witnessing, after the slow decline of success in this experiment in unifying pre-forged identities under new terms, an experiment which began running its course since the fall of kings and the liberalization of the West, though arguably it was tried in Rome, using rule of force instead of rule of law, and a warning about loyalty and identity was posed by Arminius. It has done the one thing which guarantees a decline in social cohesion and shared identity across lines. This experiment has returned to the most damaging course it could. The politicization, openly and through constant social normalization, of identities, some mutable, some fixed, through the constant denigration of one social cohesive identity, traditionally a nation-state, in the case of especially multi-ethnic, multi-religious, and sometimes multinational states, the result is almost inevitably a balkanization of that region, along these various lines of identity. And to me, this breakdown of cohesion is what has led us to people in a desperate search for some other, some inner and some outer, some sanctified, selected group, some source of unity, which expresses itself almost equally in college safe spaces and within the nation of Kekistan. This, I think, is why so many people innately understood that what we call identity politics, or identitarian politics, was fundamentally a step backwards. A rehashing of 200 years of ceaseless struggle to minimize these aspects of identity in favor of a shared collective identity. I think somewhere in our lizard brains, some of us still realize the possibility of the Platonic ideal, one of the founding ideals of the US, and something that's being shredded by identitarian movements. For a nation to function, the nation must be the first identifier for the identity of the individual, To avoid totalitarian leanings in the US, there was set up a Confederate or Republic representational government, and it's been utilized in place of demagoguery and identitarian power plays. For now. I fear that this rise of socially cohesive, individualized identity in place of national and local and social identities, I think it ends in despair, no matter the winner. Because I rather like this attempt and what it stands for, and, if successful, what it could signal for humanity and the possibilities and the directions we could go in. Many of us understood fundamentally what using one's identity to attain power inevitably led to. And we really tried to warn people. And now, frankly, this is the reality that we've apparently chosen to live in, and it is kinda disappointing. But hey, I suppose as long as there are enough filthy centrists out there, we'll be okay, right? Well, that's my little take on it, ladies and gents. I hope you enjoyed this little chat. Thanks for watching, and as usual, stay safe, good luck, and goodbye.